Welcome. You're listening to My Magical Horse, the podcast, where we are getting curious about animal communication. I am your host, Jordan Banks, and if you are desiring a more magical connection with your own horse, you are in the right place. Join us as we rediscover our sense of wonder, experience the joy, and feel the magic that horses bring to our lives each and every day. We are so excited to have you here. Thank you for spending your time with us. Now let's get started. Welcome back to My Magical Horse, the podcast. Today, I am so excited to introduce Jen Woolwine. Jen is an Army combat veteran, a former trauma recovery coach, a human design guide, and an animal communicator. Thanks for joining us, Jen. How are you doing today?
Good. Thank you so much for the opportunity to come on here and just hang out.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I was gonna actually share some of your Instagram slides. Your Instagram slides that really resonate with me and the journey that I've already been on. And in the part that you really highlight a lot about how our horses are guiding us in back to ourselves, to our own healing. And every time I would see a post like that, I'd be like, "Ooh, yeah, she knows the journey that I'm on, the journey that I'm on. This is the journey that I'm on." But yeah, I want to share just for a second the Instagram slide. I think it was like the first one. I probably had seen other ones that you had done, but the slide that you had shared the first time that really caught my attention was this one, of course, with a unicorn, because I've got my theme of my magical horse, and I know I focus on the Pegasus with Ugo, but also unicorns are magical. So I'm just
Very.
gonna read through her slides really quick and kind of just as an introduction, and then we will dive into this conversation today and see where it takes us.
Yeah.
So she writes, who taught you to stop believing in magic? A reminder from an animal communicator to rekindle your imagination and reclaim the sacred space between. You weren't born disconnected from magic, you were taught to be. When a symbol feels childish, when a vision feels made up, when your intuition shows you something that feels too mystical, ask yourself, who made you doubt the most magical parts of yourself? As kids, most of us weren't encouraged to trust the unseen. We were conditioned to outgrow it, to be realistic, to be sensible, to not stand out or draw attention, especially those of us who were deeply sensitive and intuitive. Growing up, I wasn't encouraged to imagine, to play, to see beyond the physical world. So the first time Shara, a unicorn spirit guide, appeared, a voice whispered, "That's so silly. That's not real. Who do you think you are?" But here's the truth I wish someone told me sooner. Your intuition communicates in images, symbols, and feeling. Your guides appear in the language your body understands. And sometimes they show up as the purity, innocence, and ancient wisdom you forgot you carried. What unicorns symbolize? Unicorns are rare, magical healers. They're symbols of hope, wonder, alchemy, and the possibility of the impossible. Unicorns appear to the ones who once hid their magic, the ones who weren't encouraged to imagine, the ones who learned to silence their intuitive gifts. They come as reminders of the magic you were born with, awakening the unique parts of you that never stopped believing. So ask yourself, who convinced you magic was only for children? Who gains when you doubt your intuition? Who benefits when you dim the parts of you that were born to shine? Who told you the unseen wasn't real? Your magic didn't disappear. You were separated from it. And now you're finding your way back. One symbol, one whisper, one intuitive vision at a time. If you've been seeing signs, symbols, or messages you can't explain, your magic is waking up. Let yourself be curious. Let yourself believe. What's one small way you could invite your magic back today? That spoke to me so deeply because Did I say Shara correctly?
Hmm.
Shara. That spoke to me so deeply because when I read it, I was like, oh my gosh, that is my mission with my magical horse is like to try to bring back that childlike wonder and belief in the magical things that we have been trained to quit believing in. And
Yeah.
in that one slide, I would go as far as to say is like I was taught to fear it, like to fear it and to fear the unseen and to fear yeah, all the things that I'm delving into now. I was
Hmm.
really taught to be afraid, and I was afraid. I mean, honestly, even up until a year ago, 2 years ago when I started this podcast, it was like a huge obstacle for me to overcome and a self-limiting belief for me to overcome just to even say I'm going to do this podcast and we're going to talk about animal communication.
Yeah.
So, yeah, what are the thoughts that were coming up for you as I read that?
Definitely, it was like I could just picture all of the times when I was younger and would see things or hear things and share that. And we kind of like talked about this before we hopped on here to record, but I grew up in a narcissistic family and they were very controlling with things like that. Like if it's and a lot of used religion as a way of control. Like, oh, well, that's not in the Bible, or that's witchy, or you're like playing with dark magic or something like that. Like, it was just kind of what you said with fearing things. It's like this built-in thing of like, okay, well, don't go there. Um, yeah, and just like really silencing like our intuitive gifts that we are all born with, we all have. And I just feel like I just kind of closed that chapter, just shut it off. And then all of
Mm-hmm.
a sudden it reawakened through animal communication, which it's pretty new to me too. Like about a year ago, I'm in it now. So it was
Wow.
just like this whole like something that's always been there, just thought it was like inside my head realizing it's real, something happened, and then all of a sudden it was like I opened the channel and it was just like a flood of things and like seeing spirit guides, like it was like overwhelming at first, right? But it was like, okay, I'm not making this up. Like,
Yeah.
why would I think of a white unicorn that's coming to me in this like magical forest and telling me like you are here to help people remember their gifts? Like, hello. And in a voice that I was like, this isn't my, like, this isn't how I talk. You know,
Yeah.
it was like just so like ancient and mystical. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like, what's going on here? And yeah, I mean, I think I just kind of went in a circle, but
You said the channel opened up for you. How did that happen? Because you said you were pretty new to this, so I'd love to hear how that happened for
yeah.
you because I feel
Um,
like I feel like I've been on this journey to try to open up something that's blocking me, and probably a lot of it is that fear. That fear is still
hmm.
blocking me. And I
Yeah,
think
for
you've
sure.
made some other posts kind of about that too. And I'm like, I'm finally getting to the point where maybe I'm like ready to let go of the fear, but it still lingers because it was so ingrained into me that this is not something that I should be doing. And so
Hmm.
it's amazing how hard that is to overcome actually and to let
Yeah.
go.
And how interesting is it is the people that say you shouldn't be doing something, it's usually because there's some underlying thing with them that there might be a hint of jealousy, or they just might be like, well, they see something that shines in you, and it's like a piece that they're
Mm.
missing. And so it's like you get the projections of it when you are like standing in your element, something that is like calling to you, right? Like our aura is different, like our energy changes, and
Mm.
people get attracted to that, but it also triggers people as well. The lovely duality to
This
it.
is true.
But yeah, so I have a farm with 51 animals, I think we're at.
51?
Yes.
Wow. That's a lot of animals.
A lot of furry and feathered children. And I have peacocks, and my peacock Bam Bam was like coming up to me, and he just like came eye to eye, and he said, "Next time you go to the store, can you get me some blackberries? I'm sick of blueberries," but in a British accent.
What?
And I was like,
This was like your first introduction to animal communication?
that I realized, okay, I didn't make that up. I would just say probably my whole life, like I had conversations in my head with animals, and I was
Okay.
just like, oh, I'm making it up. Like I'm just having a two-way conversation all the time in my head. Doesn't everybody do this? But it was like
Yeah.
when that happened, it was just like so in my face. I was like, the British accent threw me off, right? I was just
Turned
like,
you off?
no, it like just kind of like,
Oh,
okay,
oh.
there's something to this,
It's not
right?
me. Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
because it was just
Maybe
so different than my internal voice, I guess.
does he still talk with a British accent?
hmm Yeah,
Oh, funny.
he
Okay.
sure does. So it was just like, I don't know. It was just like an awakening. It felt like I was like, oh my God, like this is too wild. Like what's going on here? So I just
Were
started like getting on the computer and I was like, is animal communication real? You know, type thing. And all of a sudden I was like
wow.
seeing all these classes and I just knew. I was like, this is what I'm supposed to do.
So it wasn't like you were even already pursuing it. It just kind of
Mm-mm.
landed in your lap
Yeah.
of, hey,
Yeah.
wow. So what do you think that there was anything that led up to that channel opening for you in the way that it did?
Yeah, I would say probably a handful of things. Leading up to it, I just had completely changed my life, my environment. Um, I mean, so I also struggled with addiction for like 9 years. And when I got sober, I got the farm. We started rescuing animals. It was like how I began my healing journey. And then realizing I grew up in a narcissistic family, and then I have complex PTSD, and then started going to therapy and like finally unraveling all of those many, many layers. And then I found human design like 3 years later. And human design, I would say, was probably like my window into it of understanding my
Mm,
energy, learning about aura, because when you come out of that kind of dynamic, you're like, who am I? You have no clue because you've been
yeah.
somebody completely different your whole life. You're like, and people are asking you, so what do you like to do? I was like, I don't know.
I relate to that. I remember like the first time I ever went to see a therapist, and I remember her asking me where I wanted to be in 10 years. And I had no idea. I was like, I don't know. Like I've never really thought that far ahead. I'm just trying to survive right now.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
just trying to get through right now. I don't know. And then I even like she told me to like to journal on it, and I really struggled to even come up with what I wanted to be doing in 10 years. I mean, it was
Yeah.
really weird. I mean, I feel like I can do that now, but I mean, that was probably 10 years ago, actually, that I had that
Yeah.
first session with her. I can't remember how long it's been, but dang, so you were in that space and it just opened up and then you started to pursue it. Did you go take animal communication classes after that or
Yeah. If you bring in human design, so my energy type is a manifesting generator.
okay.
So it's definitely very aligned for me I took 3 animal communication courses at the same time.
At the same time. I
Oh
love
yeah.
it.
And I bought like 15 books at the same time. I was reading all of them at the same time. I mean, I went
Now the
like full
question is, did you
force.
finish them all?
Yes, I
Oh, well,
did.
that's good.
Surprisingly.
I'm also a manifesting generator, and
No wonder we
I
we
I
vibed.
learned it. I took Felicity Davies' class
Mm,
Epiphany, and it was light bulb moment. I was just like, oh, like, and
yeah.
I start a lot of things and I don't finish them. And she's like, well, then you probably already got what you needed out of it, and you're already on to the next thing. And I'm like, wow. And to
Hmm.
not like feel guilty when I do that, because normally I would just
Yeah.
carry a lot of guilt of like, oh, I never finished these
Same.
things. And and that's so funny too, because I do on my own little pursuit of animal communication, I feel like I need to take all the classes with all the peoples because I just want to make sure that no stone goes unturned. I want to know what everybody
Hmm.
knows. That
Hmm.
I can take,
Yeah.
glean from it what I feel like is gonna help me on my own journey or whatever.
Yeah.
That's so funny you took. I don't think I would do three at the same time though. That might be too much for me. That's that's a lot.
Yeah, I went like full, I mean, and that's what I do. I find something that like really excites me. I go full steam, full force. nothing else matters, get all into it. And then usually, I think that's why like human design captured my attention so much is because it's not something you can master quickly. It's always
Mm,
something new you're learning. Animal communication, it's always something new. It's not redundant, right? I don't get
hmm.
bored, which
True.
is my thing with being an MG is I will get bored, so I move on to the next thing. But
That's
animal communication always changes. No two sessions are the same. So it's like always keeps my curiosity going, like wanting to learn more, open up more. So it's like
yeah.
kind of like circles all the way back to like magic of you start experiencing the magic that you just kind of closed off to, or it wasn't safe to really, your nervous system wasn't ready for it. So it's
Yeah.
like once we start feeling calmer in our body, more grounded, I think it's also why it took till I was 41 to like really I'm sure there was plenty of conversations I just like cut off, I brushed off
Yeah.
because I wasn't ready to receive yet. I didn't have the capacity to receive
Yeah.
because I'd always been someone who just gave, 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 gave. And receiving things was not comfortable for me at all. It was very uncomfortable. So it was like when it happened, it was like, okay, your body's ready for this.
Oh,
Like,
this
let's
is this
go.
is enlightening for me actually, because I'm like I'm kind of the same way, and I'm kind of one of those people that I recognize it now, but it's like I literally will try to do everything for everybody else that I feel like I need to do first, and then I would always put myself last, which then
Hmm.
equated to really like my horses being last because they were an extension of me. And to the point where is now I'm making shifts and I'm making sure that they don't get the last of me, so to speak, you know. But that yeah, being able to receive is really hard. I don't know why that's so hard. I really don't. So I'm yeah, on my own little journey on that.
Hmm. I was going to say for me, the uncomfortableness of receiving is like if it's I feel like attention is being shined on me and I
Mm,
would rather it be shined on others because then
yeah.
I'm like being the focus and I think a lot
Yes.
of that's from my childhood of just stay back in the shadows, don't stand out because it was never positive attention, I guess. It was always like picking out something that was wrong or downing something or whatever. So it's like, okay, shut up, don't bring attention to myself. So now it's like, I feel like it's like a spotlight on me. If I'm like receiving something, even just love, it's very uncomfortable. And I've been married 21 years. So it's not like this has been
Interesting.
a unraveling for sure. But yeah, I mean, some of this is just flowing out. And it's like, I'm even hearing it for the first time, like, Jen, like, yeah, you really do struggle to receive.
Yeah. Yeah. That's interesting what you said about not wanting to be in the spotlight because I feel like growing up I kind of was in the spotlight, but but maybe I was never really comfortable being in the spotlight. I think that's probably true, which is also weird because I'm a Leo, so I should be like
I'm a
okay
Leo
with that.
too.
Yeah, but even like just to do this podcast, it was like it felt like a big step to put myself out there in that way.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my gosh. But you know, this is the kind of funny thing is that I think what made it easier is like, oh, I'm gonna have guests and it's really about them. And then one
Hmm.
point Felicity told me, she said, have you done a solo episode yet? And I was like, no. And she's like, you need to. And I was like, what? I was like, no, what am I
By
gonna
myself.
say? But I did do one, and I probably need to do another one, but I don't know. I'm having fun with it. So,
It's good
but
though. It's hard to be vulnerable.
yeah, yeah.
It's
And
not
open
easy.
up and you don't know who of a zillion people could possibly be listening to you. So it is vulnerable
Hmm.
that way. But when you did the class with three or did three different animal communication classes, that just kind of made another question come up to me is like, how did that go? Like, do you feel like were they all kind of similar in what they were teaching, or do you feel like there was some variety in the scope of what you were learning?
I would say like the foundation was the same through all of them. For me, also with my human design, I'm a 2/4 profile, and I've found it very common with hermits and two lines, like animal communication. Oh, well, I'll just speak for me personally, but I've also found this with other two lines is like doing live animal communication, we struggle. because it's
Mm.
such an internal process. So it's like I have
Yeah.
my own ritual. That's why I don't do animal communication live. Like I just get so much more when I'm by myself and
Mm-hmm.
just completely grounded. Because if I have some, like if I try to do it here live, I can do it, but there's almost like a different energy behind it because I'm still sharing aura or energy with somebody else. And it's like, I mean, this might be something that I get better at maybe because I'm still kind of new to it,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it's like I get very easily distracted. It doesn't go as deep. Um, yeah, there's just like a different energy behind it. But when I'm by myself and I do a session, it just like flows. But if like an animal walks in or my husband like walks by, it's like, shoot, it's gone. And then I have to like
Interesting.
get really centered with myself. So I had to
Yeah, and
find
that,
out like what works for me is like doing my sessions not live. Just
yeah.
give me the photo, let me do it, and then I share it like an audio recording. And that's just like what works for my energy.
Yeah, that's cool. I've been, interviewing a lot of different animal communicators on this podcast, and it is fascinating to just learn different people's their approach or what works for
Hmm.
them. And it isn't the same. I mean, it is different
Yeah.
for everybody. And like you said, some people it does evolve with time. So,
Hmm.
if I talk to you again in a year or two, you might be like, "Oh no,
Yeah,
I do
it's possible.
it live." Yeah.
It's possible.
Yeah,
But
interesting. When
but yeah, I would say the foundation's definitely like the same, like, setting intentions, getting grounded, um, asking, well, not all of them asked for consent. Consent was definitely a little bit different with some courses,
Oh,
but
really?
yeah,
Interesting.
some were just like go up to it and just communicate type
And some were
thing.
really big on you need to ask
Yeah,
consent.
and I really like giving animals voice, choice, and consent. I really appreciate that route, but there's also a little, which I know we've talked about before, is there's a little bit of difference with our own animals as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. So, yeah, Jen made a really recent Instagram post about that. And it was like one of those light bulb moments for me where I was like, oh, yeah, this. Because in the handful of animal communication classes that I've done so far, which I still feel like I need to do more. Yeah, there's always that you open the channel, you ask for permission to do it, and then you close the channel at the end. And I literally was, yeah, chatting with another communicator and saying, like, do I have to close the channel? Like, I want my horses to be able to reach out to me. So yeah, talk about that a little bit about what your take on that is with our own animals.
Yeah. I think also with me having so many animals, could you
Mhm.
imagine how much time that would take to like 51 animals, but hold on a minute. Like, I need to make sure, like, what, because they would just start talking to you, right? So it's like,
Right.
obviously, they're giving me that permission. If they're just coming to my awareness, or all of a sudden we're having a conversation, but also, we share the same energy. We're sharing the same nervous system. We're sharing the same energy field because my animals are always up my ass, right? Like it's like they're constantly connected to me. So it's like I also didn't want to close myself off as well because if they want to be able to come to me, I want it to be there. But there's definitely ethics involved to it, right? Like if I'm going to do Reiki on my animal, I'm going to obviously ask, get their consent. And then I'm going to properly like make sure I'm bringing my energy into the space and not carrying anything with me as I continue my day, right? Like there's like
Mhm.
these, I guess, spiritual hygiene practices
Mhm.
that I'll incorporate because we are so open and susceptible and we are taking in things. And if we're not properly taking care of us, our energy spiritually and practicing hygiene, then you will carry things that you don't need to be carrying. And I definitely was
Right.
someone who always carried everybody else's things, so
Yeah.
it's definitely something I've had to like be vigilant in practicing. But as far as like with our own animals, I think because we are so much in each other's energy, I like feel like it's almost like two souls are like merged into one. I just have such a strong connection with a lot of my animals to where it's like I immediately know if it's like a yes or no by their energy. I know if
Mm,
they like really don't feel like talking or if I'm like trying to push something or to get an answer and it's just like silent. I'm like, okay, obviously this is no. Like I'm not going to force, you know what I'm saying? So it's like something you
yeah.
kind of have to just feel out and you know your animals more than anybody else. No
Yeah.
vet, no any other animal communicator, like you know your animal. So I think it's all like, how does the information feel in your body? Does this feel like a yes to you? Do you have
Hmm.
to say, do I have your permission? Or do you feel it in your body like, okay, yes, like obviously my animal is, saying yes or not saying no. I don't know, like how do you feel about it?
Well, what you said, like we know our animals more than anybody. And what was kind of coming in my mind while you're talking is that whole the just knowing things. Because I feel like for me, I I didn't feel like I was an animal communicator. I didn't feel like I was communicating, even though I would feel like I knew things about my horses, but because I wasn't like getting words or pictures, I didn't think I was
Mm,
communicating. And
hmm.
then through this journey, learned that no, actually, that is one of the ways that you get information is just a knowing and not knowing how you know, but you know.
Hmm.
And I feel like that's maybe my strongest one because I've been doing it like my whole life, and you don't even sometimes acknowledge things that come easily for you. You sometimes don't realize you're doing it.
Yeah.
But I just know in my own personal experience, like I might be talking to somebody and saying XYZ, my horse says, and then have them say, "Oh, you're just projecting that on them," and be like,
Mm,
mm. And I mean, there were times where I'd be like, "No, I'm not." And this was before I
yeah.
even knew about animal communication, really. I'd be like, "No, no, I know this." It's so funny. And that's so
Hmm.
funny when I doubt myself as an animal communicator. I'm like, "No, I've been doing this for years. Like, I know this." Like, yeah, I don't have words or an explanation for it exactly, but you just feel it in your soul, I guess,
Yeah.
and feel pretty convicted about no, that's what's going on or whatever. But then
Yeah.
there's other things where I don't know what's going on, and I think then that's when the doubt starts to creep in, when you're like, why is my horse having this problem? And just this is actually a funny example of my own mare. She started this thing where she was like body slamming her stall door, and she had, or not her door, but like she had my mare and my gelding were in this like broodmare stall where the middle stall, the wall would shake because it wasn't solid. And so I don't know when or why she started like slamming into the wall. So I'm like, okay, I think she's doing it because she wants my attention. She's mad I took this other horse out to get a ride. Okay, that makes sense. Oh, then she'd start doing it because she wanted to get fed and food wasn't coming fast enough. And then I would try to talk to her. I mean, I try to be like, Zena, you got to stop doing this. This is not good for you. You're going to hurt yourself. Like, why are you doing this? And not feeling like I was really getting an answer, or it wasn't making any result to get her to stop doing it. And then ironically, this is funny how the universe works. I had a session with Shaylee and I forgot to ask her about that because I was asking her about other things. And then afterwards, I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't even ask her about that question because I need to know. And then, as life would have it, maybe a couple weeks later, maybe a month later, it just suddenly hit me. I need to move her stall.
Mm.
So I moved her stall down one that didn't have the shared shaky wall. She has never body slammed once. But then what occurred to me is the whole time she was in that other stall, she didn't have a window to look out because her window backed up with Ugo's window and they would face slam each other with the thing. And I thought somebody was going to really hurt themselves. So hers, and this has been years now, her window has just been closed. Well, now in her new stall, she has a window and she sits
Oh,
there with her head out, happy as a clam, has never slammed. And then I just got this knowing. It's like she's like, finally, I'm seen. Finally, I can be seen. I don't have to be loud to be heard because now you can see me.
yeah.
And I just was like, holy shit, why did this take me so long to figure this out? And I mean, that was it. Like
Hmm.
has never once done that behavior again. So
Wow.
maybe the communicator didn't have this conversation with her because I was meant to figure it out for myself
Mm,
and then go, oh, wow. Like, I mean, then I'm
yeah.
like, why did that take me so long? But at least I figured it out, you know?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Maybe it was her way of knowing that you needed to come to that so that you would trust yourself that you got it instead of it coming from somebody else
yes.
saying it.
Honestly, and that's actually really interesting too, because in that same session, she had given Shaylee this like, it was really a funny session actually. Anyway, she had given her this like kind of like a journey and basically wanted Shaylee to connect with her after our session was over so she could just download this to her without being interrupted. It was so funny. And then Shaylee says to me, she was like, you know what? She goes, this is the first time I don't really understand the symbols, but she says you will understand them.
Mm.
And so really, and then I had a different communicator. I've worked with a lot of different communicators. So I had
Hmm.
a different communicator, Mariana, that I was working with, and she's like, yeah, because like Xena wanted you, she wants you to figure it out for yourself. Like, you know, kind of like
Hmm.
concurring message from both communicators is like, yeah, exactly what you said, just to start
Hmm.
trusting myself and not
Yeah.
for me to feel like I have to keep outsourcing my,
Authority.
it's huge actually. I guess it's just part of the progression, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah,
In her
for
role
sure.
in my own trying to
Hmm.
trust myself and the messages that I'm getting. But
Yeah.
anyway, that's
That's
just
so
a
cool
little
though.
side story. I just felt compelled to share.
Yeah.
But yeah, and so I guess there's so many questions I have for you. I mean, all these interviews, I always feel like they could be a couple hours long because there's so many questions. But I did want to mention, so like I love having some sort of experience with the people that I'm going to have on the podcast because I like to be able to bring it to a more personal level. And so like even though you were like on my radar, then it was like around Valentine's Day you had put out that thing for this kind of I don't know if it's kind of like a mini session, but you did like a love letters like so she had said she'll connect with your horse and write a love letter from them to you. And I thought, oh, I just love that idea. I would love to know what my horse
Hmm.
what my horses have to say. And so we connected and we did it just right after Valentine's Day, actually. But I didn't realize going into that, so you had an intake form and that she asked questions. And I don't know if you asked for us to write a letter, but basically I ended up writing a love letter to them. Is that how it was
Hmm.
intended to
Yeah,
be?
there was
Or
space where you could write a message or a question, or if you wanted to write a letter. So surprisingly, a lot of people did write letters, but
yeah,
yeah.
and I didn't know it was gonna turn into a love letter, but like after I wrote it, I was like, oh my gosh, like, and then what you did was so cool because what Jen did is she took my love letter that I didn't even know I was writing, but it turned into one. And then when she did the session with each of my horses, she took their love letter and she turned it into this really beautiful PDF with a photo. Like she had me send a few photos and chose a photo. And I adored it. Like, oh my gosh, I haven't printed them out yet, but my plan is to print them out and like just keep that. It was a really special keepsake.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's one thing I did want to do is I'll pull up those love letters and just so it's not me reading the whole thing, I will read my love letter to them and then you can read what you channeled, even though I know you don't remember it because that's how it works. So I will start with Ugo's, I guess. And this is deeply this horse is just he truly is the love of my life. And I think what's so cool about animal communication is like in the beginning, I was really on the fence about whether or not I believed it was real or not. And I wanted to believe it was real. I really wanted to believe it was real, but I would just still have my doubts. And then kind of gradually over time, man, I'd start working with different communicators, but the things that were coming out were like, there's just no way. There was just no way that you would know this. And one time I was in a session and it was again with Shaylee and Ugo said called me the love of his life. And
Oh.
she had no idea why he said that. But I told her later, I'm like, oh my God, that just really hit me because I am always telling him He's the love of my life. And he told her, you're still the love of my life. And I was just like, oh.
Oh my
And she
gosh.
didn't understand the impact that that carried.
Right.
But it was huge to me. And so again, it was just another one of those confirmations of, as Felicity says, you can't make this shit up. This stuff is really real.
Yes.
So, anyway, it was such a treat to have you connect with my precious magical babies. So I will read, and this is funny. I think I wrote this one first. I think he was the first one I did. And like I said, I didn't know it was going to turn into a love letter, but this is the beautiful PDF that and if you're listening to this on the audio only version, that's going to go out on all the podcast platforms, you can see the video version if you join my magical horse, and then you can watch the video. It's like an exclusive perk for the my magical horse Phoenix Rising and Earth Angel tier members. So okay, hopefully I'll read all this and not be crying by the end, but if I'm crying, that's okay, right?
Yeah, tears are good.
Dear Ugo, and we used his full name, Ugo dos Pinhais. Dear Ugo, love of my life, chiseled sculpture and animated cartoon character, easily voted best sense of humor, all rolled into one incredibly perfect being, my Pegasus and angel here on earth. Thank you, thank you, thank you for helping me learn how to be and for choosing me in this incredible life that we are living together, lessons and all. I wouldn't trade any of it. You are my world, my universe, my galaxy, and beyond. And I'm so deeply grateful for your presence here with me. I love you for infinity. Love me,
So
Jordan.
beautiful.
Oh, I got through it without crying, but
You
that's
did it.
yeah, we can go into a little bit more of the details, but yeah, go ahead and read.
So I guess this is everything that translated and came through to me. I communicate through a photo and use telepathy, and I meditate, I ground, I get into that space, and I just type everything that comes through. And then when it's done, then I read it. I have no idea basically what I typed. So
Wow.
this is
Okay.
definitely a refresher for
And
me.
you're typing it like not writing it, but you're just like typing it on the computer.
Yeah, I used to
Mm.
write it all out, but it was just so much I couldn't keep up like with writing it fast enough. So
That's
another
how
animal communicator said, try typing, and it was like a game changer.
I need to try that because what happens with me is my hand starts to hurt.
Yes.
I can't, yeah. So anyway, good tip.
Yeah, typing.
Okay.
Okay, so he said, to my guardian, my soulmate, this is not our first life together. I have been with you across many lifetimes in different realms, far beyond what most people can imagine. We have met in other forms, other frequencies, and we have found each other again. You have opened my eyes to a world many horses do not get to experience, a life filled with gratitude, compassion, empathy, and love. The bond we share cannot truly be contained in a letter, but I will try. My favorite moments are in the golden hour, when the sun crests over the horizon and that warm light wraps around us both. In those moments, it feels as if we are transported somewhere beyond the veil, somewhere timeless, and yet it is also the simple, everyday magic I cherish most. You rubbing my cheek, the way you brush me so carefully, the way you always put my needs first, the way I come to the door just to be near you. These small moments may seem ordinary to others, but to me they are sacred. No matter how much time we have in this lifetime, know this, we are not finished. Our connection does not end here. We will always be linked in different forms, different frequencies, different expressions of love. Our soul bond is eternal. Thank you for being my guardian, for loving me the way you do, for building a foundation of trust that allows me to feel safe, seen, and cherished. In a world that is not always kind, you are magic to us, a fairy, a guardian of hearts. You carry your own magic even when you forget it. Part of my purpose has been to guide you, to help you open the door to the impossible, to the unseen, to the truth that magic is not rare, it is constant. It lives in the breeze, in the rain, in the sunlight that kisses your cheek. It lives in us. I am so lucky I get to experience this lifetime with you. It fills my soul. It gives me purpose. Thank you for loving me. I love you. Across lifetimes, across worlds, beyond affinity. Forever yours.
Oh.
Like I could not talk like that. My brain
Oh,
would not, you know what I'm saying? It's like the energy behind this is so different. It's like, how could I have made that up?
oh, it's so beautiful. And
He's like a
um,
poet, like that was just like poetry.
yeah, when I read that, well, so there's so many things, and you don't, you and I don't know each other at all. And so it was really cool just to see so much stuff comes through that really like encapsulates our relationship together. And starting with, I mean, like I know I wrote I love you for infinity. And the reason that I wrote that is the very first time I ever purposefully tried to connect with him was at this thing called Elements of Connection, and Shaylee had led us through this thing. And I saw he sent me an infinity symbol. Like I saw an infinity symbol. So like that infinity symbol has been a thing for us. And so with all the different people I've worked with, I'm trying to remember all the details. I mean, there's definitely been, I think there's that whole piece of him being my Pegasus and there being this in my own little meditation journeys that I've gone on. Yeah, him even showing up to communicators as a Pegasus, and to me as a Pegasus, and kind of in a cosmic way, even like beyond
Mm-hmm.
this world. So, and that's not something that you and I had talked about at all. And when he says, like, this is not our first life together, I mean, that totally resonates with stuff that I've learned about us from other sessions, my own meditations with him. The whole finding each other again, the golden hour, his thing, and he has an injury right now where he severed a tendon. And so that was like just about a year and a month ago, he severed a tendon. And at the time, I had various people telling me it wouldn't be the wrong time to put him down, kind of a thing. Then I had other people telling me, no, no, he's still got a lot of vitality. I had an animal communication session where he basically told her, he said he could heal if I believed he could heal. So I just glommed onto that. I'm like, if he says he can
Mm-hmm.
heal, I believe he can heal. But since then, like I spent a lot of time taking him out to hand graze and walk him. And we do that most typically at the golden hour. Not always, but that is mostly when we do it. And because I always am trying to get him out before it's too dark, but I
Mm-hmm.
also personally really love that time of night with him. And so for, a year now, he and I have been doing that where we go out at the golden hour. So when you wrote all that, I was just like, wow, that's pretty amazing because we spend so much of our time during that time of the
Wow.
day.
And
And
as
it
you're
is,
saying that, I remember like I'm seeing the visuals that I was getting while I was typing, but I couldn't like add the visuals in with the letter,
yeah,
But as you're saying that, it's like I see a fence, I see like the sun coming down and like how it's like shining on the grass, and you're standing there with him, and it's just you and him. Like it's just
yeah.
like your special time together.
Yeah, and I really feel like I mean, like you have always talked about the horses are bringing us back to the healing and the things that we need. Really, ultimately, this past year has been me learning how to be, and that time that I spend with him has been profoundly impactful on me. I mean, it's not easy for me. Like I'll go out there and I still want to check my phone, or I'm going through like in the very beginning, it was like I've actually felt guilty. This is crazy when you think about it. I actually felt guilty for the fact that I was sitting out there with him doing nothing. And I
Mm,
would just think about all the other things that I still had to do before I could go home. And then
right.
I would feel guilty that I felt like that
Mm-hmm.
because I didn't want him to feel like, you know what I mean? Like I feel
Mm-hmm.
guilty that I felt like that. And I don't know exactly, it's an ever-going process of like sometimes I still will get wrapped up in all the other things I still have to do. And then I have to make like this conscious effort to put my phone away And really, what actually helps me the most is to listen to him eating the grass and then to start touching his hair or something. Like I'll run my
Hmm.
fingers through his mane or just feel how silky smooth his coat is. And then I'm able to actually get present. But it blows my mind away how difficult it has been for me to just get present, which probably is my block in the animal communication space, is that
Hmm.
because you have to be really present to be able to do this.
Yeah.
So anyway, that part was really special that you mentioned that, and it is an ongoing journey, but now I just cherish that time. Like no, instead of
Yeah.
feeling guilty for the fact that I'm not doing anything with him, I'm like just cherishing the fact that I'm out
Yeah.
there not doing anything and that
Yeah.
acknowledging that that is also important. Like that is just as important as the rest of the things on my to-do list. And
Yeah.
it's taken me some time to shift into
Yeah.
truly embodying that, like
Hmm.
it's okay.
It sounds like that's
Um,
what he's been guiding you to do,
yeah,
is
so
helping you
true.
to get present and really fully drop in.
So true. And the when he says we are not finished, no matter how much time we have left in this lifetime, know this, we are not finished. That was another big thing, is like just me being so afraid of losing him, like so afraid of losing him to the point where it was probably hindering us, because
Hmm.
I wasn't living in the present because I was so busy. I was so busy being fearful of
Hmm.
what might happen next and what am I going to do and how am I going to react and not being. So now my big thing is like, I don't, whatever much time we have left, I just am so grateful that we get to spend this time together.
Yeah.
And oh, yeah, it just warms my heart. And then, gosh, oh, there was something else that you said up here. He said, beyond his favorite moments of the golden hour, but then you said, the way I come to the door just to be near you. Anybody who knows this horse and has ever been at my barn knows that I would say when I'm at the barn, 80% of the time, he's standing there watching me.
Yeah.
I mean, watching me. He watches me teach lessons. He watches me and he's patient about it until I'm done. And he's like, "Okay, come over." And then he'll like start making noise. But like he'll watch me teach a lesson and as soon as the lesson's over, he's like, "Okay, hello. Like, why don't you take me out now or give me my lunch or whatever it is." But
I
he
really
wants
feel
to
like protector energy. Like he's
he
just like making sure like everything you're okay and
he
like what are you
watches me
doing and
all.
curious.
Yeah, and it warms my heart. It truly just warms my heart to see him. And even when I've had him at other barns, like when another barn I was at for a really long time, he's had a lot of injuries in his life. And so this has been part of our whole story has been coming back from all these injuries. But like I try to get him into turnout and he didn't like it because he couldn't see me. And so then
Mm.
like he would just stand at the turnout, like staring up at the barn, like the whole time. He wouldn't like just enjoy to be out at. And so then, oh, and then so this other thing I did with Mariana, I had told her in the beginning of this mentorship I did with her, I said, I just want him to be able to be a horse. And she said, maybe that's not what he came here to do. And it
Mm.
was such like, what do you mean? I mean, don't all horses just want to be horses? Like, apparently not mine.
No. Yeah.
like,
Some of them
like
have very specific soul missions.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm just sharing all this because it's
It's
so
so cool.
special. Yeah. I'm just trying to see if there's anything else I wanted. But yeah, just all of this was just his gratitude and just feeling like he's lucky and across lifetimes, across worlds, beyond infinity. I mean, that so just sums up our life here. And okay, I have to tell you something really funny. And
Tell me.
This this is I again, this is just kind of goofy feeling, but okay, in previous relationships I've had, everyone's always jealous of my horses, right? These men are jealous of my horses, and I have literally had I don't know if it was my ex-husband or ex-boyfriends or whoever, but I've literally more than once had it said to me, in my next life, I want to come back as your horse. Then it hit me one day, and I'm joking about this, but who knows? Like, what if Ugo was my, because I call him the love of my life. Like, you're the love of my life. And then one day I'm like, are you the love of my life? Like, did you come back as a horse?
Did he answer?
No, I probably, I didn't feel like I got an answer. I
Mm,
probably was afraid to know the answer, to be honest.
mm. He may have said you're not ready for that yet.
Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, I don't know why. That's just something funny
I
that
think
kind
it's
of,
quite possible.
it's so, it just, and the funny thing is that it just hit me one day. Like I've been calling him this for years. And then one day I'm like, wait a minute.
What if you have a past life you were like married, like a
Would
whole
that be
lifetime with
bizarre? I mean,
him?
is that possible?
Anything is possible in the unseen. That's the beauty of it, right? It's not going to be something that makes sense to our logical mind. That's the
No,
point of it,
so funny.
you
So
know? So
anyway,
you never know.
something
Something
to
definitely
ponder.
explore
Yeah, that's something to
and
ponder there.
ask.
I know, like I had done a session with Tracy Rainwaters a long time ago where after my dog had passed, and then she told me like all these different things that he'd been in my life for multiple, multiple lifetimes and all these
Mhm.
different things that he had been. And I'm sitting here thinking, when did I have a monkey? Or, like whatever it was. I mean, I don't remember all the things, but it was so, but think about it. If we have other lifetimes, we don't remember them
Mhm.
all. I mean, in this lifetime, God only knows. Anyway, I thought
Yeah.
it was so funny. But anyway,
I
I,
had one animal communication session that ended up showing me my Akashic records. So I
yeah.
actually saw past lives, and I didn't even know that was like a thing. So it was like, okay, I was like sharing it with somebody else who was like open to animal communication, and I was like sharing what happened. She was like, you saw the Akashic records, like you saw your past lives, like that's what it's like. And I was like,
Oh,
what?
and you didn't
No
realize that's what
way.
it
I
was?
had no idea. It was all
So
new to me.
what did you see? I mean, anything you want to share or?
Sure. So apparently I was a sheep herder in Wales. And they all have like an animal element or theme.
Yeah.
So this one's like really bizarre, but I was a demon slayer,
A what?
a demon slayer. Like,
In a past life?
yes. Which this is the interesting part. Since I was a kid, I always had premonitions. I always had horrible nightmares where I was literally fighting demons, like from age
Really?
4 all the way through to my 20s, like 3 to 4 times a week, constantly. That's what my dreams were. So then seeing this, I like had a sword. Like, it's freaking weird, but I was just like,
Wow.
what the hell is this? Like, what? And they're like, no, this is something you did like in another realm. And I was like, what? And I haven't had any more dreams or anything since this was shown to me. Like, I mean, I have
Interesting.
dreams, but I'm not
Yeah,
like
but
fighting
not about
demons in my
that.
dreams. Like, that stopped.
So
So
did
you're
that,
talking like 25 year, well, more than that. I'm 41. So you're
wow.
talking like 35 years of me experiencing this. And then all of a sudden it's gone. No
So
more.
why do you think that is? Like, why do you think seeing that in the Akashic record, and you didn't even realize it was the Akashic records, but
No.
you seeing that, why do you think that is? Let you release that?
Don't know. I have no
That-
idea. I mean,
That's
this is like
fascinating.
just like a couple of weeks ago too. So maybe it's just something that hasn't really like processed or integrated yet. It's kind
Yeah.
of like it happened and it's like waiting for like my body to catch up to
Or
it, I
maybe,
think, you
I mean,
know?
maybe just seeing that and like putting those two things together made you like be able to acknowledge it and make sense
Hmm.
of it and go, oh, this is why
Yeah.
I
I
keep
mean, I
having
was
these
going to
dreams.
psychiatrists. I was having sleep
Really?
studies done. I was like, something's wrong. Like, why is this always happening? Type thing. It
Wow.
was like I was trying to find like a medical reason for it, but then come to find out it's a kind of a hereditary thing. My mom also experiences it. Her mom did, but they never talked about it until
Interesting.
I shared what happened. So it's been
And they
like
had the
this.
same dreams?
Not
Oh,
as to the extent, but they definitely experienced it.
wow.
But yeah. And there was like times I saw in Iraq, like things that happened that I got to witness. Because like I was seeing it, everything
Mm.
from a bird's eye view. but I was seeing everything that I like experienced. And like in Iraq, there was like one incident that I saw it from a bird's eye view, like seeing what happened and how guardian angels protected me. Um, and one of them ended up being my brother that passed. And like I
Oh,
kind of
wow.
knew this happened in Iraq because I saw him the night after this incident happened. So, I mean, okay, so to kind of give a little bit more context,
Yeah.
I did convoy security. So we were in Humvees and we provided gun support for military and civilian contractors. So like Black Hawk Down, like the movie when they're going in the cities and Humvees and people are in the machine gun and the turret, like that's what I did. And so
Mm.
I was hit by an improvised explosive device in Iraq.
Mm.
And that night, I saw my brother who passed away when I was 14. He
Oh,
was standing next to my bed that night, like in full guardian gear, like just watching over me.
wow.
But then in the Akashic Records, I was seeing this happen and seeing my brother there and him and angels like protecting my vehicle, which is why none of us were injured or anything happened.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
I didn't know I was going to share this because you can tell
No.
like my nervous system is like, this is a little extreme, right? Because I've only talked to like a handful of people about this, but maybe this will resonate with somebody. It was meant to come out, but
Yeah,
yeah, it's
that's
wild,
fascinating.
wild.
And did that give you a sense of peace after
Yeah,
that? I
for
mean,
sure. It was like,
yeah.
okay, like I did see him in Iraq. Like I didn't make that
Like
up.
yeah,
Like
I'm not making it
this,
up.
yeah, this is why like there are spirit guides, there are angels protecting us through. And I like saw all these other instances that happened through my whole life of when I was being protected and why things didn't happen type thing.
Yeah, I think
It
that
was insane.
our world when we start to open ourselves up to this, it's just like there's just so much more
So
than
much.
our human brains can comprehend,
Yeah,
which it feels like we're in a time in the evolution of the earth or whatever, that more and more people are, they keep calling it the awakening, but more and more
hmm.
people are waking up to the fact that there is so much more than
Right.
what we have allowed ourselves to see or, been conditioned to see, like myself included, like just so much fear of being afraid to even like go there or what I
Hmm.
mean? But I mean, there's so many beautiful stories. Like that is a
Yeah.
beautiful story, that you're still navigating and trying to make sense of yourself, but
Hmm.
um should be encouraging, I think, to other
Yeah.
people too, who've been in situations where maybe, yeah, it does seem miraculous that you made it out
Hmm.
alive, or that there are guides and beings and God and angels that are in fact
Yeah.
looking out for us.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's beautiful.
I'm surprised that it came out, but
I
it
love
was
that you
just like
shared. I
it
love
was
that you
there.
felt I love that you felt safe to share that. So thank you.
Animal communication is so cool. It's like a
Yeah.
doorway or a window. It's just like, and I think animals are like our safest mirror to feel that through because our animals are only coming to us with love, compassion, right? It's not out of malice. There's nothing ulterior motive to it. So it's like we can trust what our animals are telling us because that feels safe to us. So it's like,
Yeah.
okay, now we're opening up the channel, the door, whatever. It's like, I don't know. I just feel like our animals are like walking us into remembering, being open to what we've shut down our whole life. I don't know. That's
No,
just
I think
kind of like
you're
what I'm feeling into.
yeah, I think you're right, but or what would you say to somebody that does have fear, that is afraid, or like I know that like when in one of the classes, or probably all the classes I've done, but you go through some like kind of protection um protocols, like just to protect that any messages coming through are for the highest and best good and things
Hmm.
like that. Like, do you want to speak into that a little bit for anybody that might be fearful of opening up those channels of what might
Hmm.
come through that they don't want to have come through?
Yeah, I think that's where like spiritual hygiene comes in. I mean, when we connect with our animals, well, like when I set an intention, or the purpose of why I'm coming to them to communicate. I'm always like, I'm coming and bringing nothing but love and compassion. I only want the same, not saying like they can only bring that type of energy, but I'm not opening myself up to anything that is dark or, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what you
Mm,
give that word. Dark just keeps like coming through.
mm-hmm,
Anything that's just dark, heavy energy, not safe. It's almost like I put up a armor, maybe. It's
mm-hmm,
like kind of shield from being open to that.
mm-hmm,
I also don't think animals bring that in with them either.
mm,
You know, it's almost like they're protecting us from that as well. But we still have
mm.
to practice our own hygiene of making sure we cleanse our energy. We're not carrying things with us. It's weird because I know like there's so much out there of people saying, well, once you open the channel, now you're so susceptible to everything coming in. Um, you're going to get all the darkness is going to come in, but animals bring nothing but light. I've had the opposite
Mm.
experience. I actually
Right.
haven't experienced what everybody else says, like you got to be aware, scared of.
Yeah.
I haven't had one animal or an instance or something where I felt heavy, wrong, shame, guilt. Like none of that comes through when I communicate with animals. So it's almost like I feel safe enough to explore the other things, like past lives or all these
Mm.
things I've been scared of. But the animals like protect from anything evil or dark or I don't know.
Well, and like, because animals don't carry that, like you said, they don't carry that in
Yeah.
their being or whatever. But also the intention. I think what I've learned from all the stuff I've been learning is like really the intention that you set is so powerful.
Yeah.
And if you set a clear intention for, you know, information that's only for the highest and best good to come through,
Yeah.
I mean, that is in essence your protection. And
Yeah.
um, I
That's a
mean,
good
in
point.
addition to all the other things that you
Hmm.
can do
Yeah. No,
to
attention is
energetically
so
protect yourself,
important.
but your intention is, I think, and that's the other thing I think people and myself included, I have to remind myself, but even prior to going into this type of delving into this rabbit hole, so to speak, of animal communication, is people I don't think fully understand the gravity of how much our intention shapes everything.
Yeah.
And if you have good intentions or you have bad intentions, I mean, if you have bad intentions, then maybe you need to do some self-healing work. I
Yeah.
don't know.
And I don't
Like,
think the animals will come when you set a bad
yeah,
intention.
I mean, I just think that it's interesting because I don't feel like I'm not one of those people that's ever has bad intentions. I know there are people that do
Hmm.
carry that kind of energy, but I'm not like I won't even watch a scary movie. Like I can't,
Hmm.
I will not allow myself to um I will not intentionally
Hmm.
allow those images into my mind because I don't want to be um inundated with them. And I
Hmm.
think I learned that early on as a kid, actually, that that was not something that I was going to be able to do. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I can't handle that. Like people that love scary movies, I don't even know. I can't, I'm not
Yeah.
one of those people. I can't do it. Anyway, I don't know. It's just an interesting topic.
Yeah. I think that's very, intention is such a key piece of it
Yeah.
for bringing
So
that to the forefront.
what do you feel like is your strongest Claire?
Clear audience for sure.
Really?
Hmm. It's like having
And
a two-way conversation.
so, and that's why you're able to just type the words and you're just kind of
Hmm.
getting the words.
But I do get visuals too at the same
Hmm.
time. So it's like I'm hearing it, but also seeing what they're saying. I would say like what you have, the clear feeling, like just knowing things. Mine isn't as strong as that. It's sprinkled in, but I think that's
Mm,
again part of the evolution and process of our gifts, right? Like you start experiencing the other ones, and who knows, your strongest one now might be the one that's kind of weakest at the end. Who knows what could kind of like come
that's
forward.
true.
But yeah, clear audience and the visuals. I always mess up the clear. names for them, but
Oh,
yeah.
clairvoyance, clairvoyance.
Yes,
Yeah.
clairvoyance and
Hmm.
clairaudience for
Hmm.
sure are my two strongest ones.
Yeah. Okay. And so you did those three classes. I think what I'm going to do with Zena's letters, I'll just going to put that one. I'm just going to attach that into the show notes or whatever I do to promote this because
Hmm.
it's kind of long and I want to dive into our I
I
want
know.
to dive into to what time we have left to talk with you. But yeah, anyway, I adored both of those love letters. They were amazing
Thank
and I'm
you.
gonna keep them forever. And I thanked my horses profusely when I got home or when I got to the barn the next time for their love
Hmm.
letters to me. But so you it opened up with your peacock telling you wanted blackberries instead of blueberries.
Yeah.
And then you did multiple animal communication classes. How long
Hmm.
after that till you decided to start like practicing professionally as an animal communicator?
I did it really soon. Very
Really?
soon. Yeah. I just started like reaching out to people on Instagram, like, okay, I want to practice with everybody else's animals. And so I started out like just doing little mini readings and, they'd send me a photo and it would be like, oh, well, I got this picture, a couple of words, because I wasn't getting like, well, I wasn't trusting. I
Mm,
was very much thinking, okay, well, that's just my internal voice. It's not them. So I would just like kind of
mm,
share pieces. And then they would
mm.
come back, of course, and like validate things. And I was like, okay, now I feel more comfortable sharing a little bit more. And then it was like writing everything out. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to share everything that came through from beginning to end. And then so much more was like being validated. I was like, okay. And then
Like even
learning.
crazy stuff that you would think,
Yeah, there was like
yeah,
no way.
yeah.
It would just be too specific. I can't even like think of examples right now, but it's just like so much. And it was just like, okay, well now I'm gonna do like some mini readings. And I think I had them for like $11, like really cheap.
Oh
And then
wow.
I just started, yeah, just till I like got my confidence. And I think like the
Yeah.
first month I did like 300, I think, in a month. It was insane.
What?
Yes. I told you I was in it.
Did that exhaust you? Like, did that make you
No,
tired or did it energize
that's what's
you?
weird. Yeah, people, if that had been people, oh, I know I would be down for 10 years, but animals is completely different. Yeah, I was
Oh.
like, oh my God, I want to do more. I want to do more. I want to do more. So,
And that's your sacral lighting up for your human
yeah,
design. That's
for
cool.
sure. So, yeah, animals have never drained me ever.
Oh, that's really cool. And then you know you're on the right path.
Hmm.
That's
So then
awesome.
it was like, hello, I've only been doing this 9 months and just started doing a mentorship of helping other people do it.
Oh,
And
really?
yeah, I mean, could you,
Is it, and
I
is that
was,
the one that you're doing right now? Is that,
mm-hmm.
oh yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I wanted to
I
do that
totally had the
too.
doubts too, though, of like,
Really?
well, I've only been doing this a couple months. How can I be mentoring other people, right? But my animals were telling me, you need to do this. So I was trusting my
Yeah.
animals because they were pushing me like, do it. Do it
What?
scared, do it anyways. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna take your advice.
I know as I'm a horse trainer. I hate to use the word trainer.
Hmm.
Actually, on Instagram, I wrote that I'm a equine energy sculptor
Oh, that's beautiful.
because I like that better than I'm not training them to do something.
Hmm.
I'm helping to facilitate a hopefully a beautiful outcome. Like I like to look at everything as art.
Hmm.
But well, I saw that you put out that mentorship and I think that you meet people that you just resonate with their energy. So I just knew from following all your Instagram stuff, I was like, okay. I mean, even just chatting with you for the few minutes before we started this, I'm like, oh yeah, we're like totally something is on the same vibrational
Hmm.
match there. But and I always tell people too when they ask me, like I'll have a lot of people, and it's another thing with my magical horses. I have it actually a platform on Patreon too, and part of doing this too is like I want people to be able to meet communicators or to listen to the podcast episode and get a feel for if their energy resonates with you or not, because that's a good way for you to be able to decide who you want to work with,
Hmm.
is because everybody's energy is a little bit different. And that doesn't mean anybody's right or wrong. It just means you might just feel more comfortable, or your animal might feel more comfortable with a particular person. Or I always also like to talk about it like, you have different friends and you don't necessarily talk to one friend about what you might talk to this friend about, you might
Hmm.
not talk to that friend about. And in that aspect of it, I always think like using multiple communicators can also have its benefits because if the communicator doesn't necessarily know something, they might not be able to communicate it to you. And so
Hmm.
somebody with a different knowledge set might be able to communicate something that somebody else can't, and or the horse may feel more comfortable talking to a certain communicator about something than another. I mean, obviously I'm learning as I'm going, but these are just the things that I'm kind of picking
Hmm.
up on it. And I just think it's really cool, A, to not limit yourself to one communicator, but B, to,
Oh yeah.
if you're really not sure, to, yeah, tune into the energy, get to know who these people are and try to see if you can pick who might resonate with you the most. But what do you feel like has been maybe one of the most, I don't know why epic is coming into my mind. Most epic experiences that you've had as an animal communicator.
Mm. I mean, the Akashic Records one for me just kind of
Okay.
seems like that's probably the top tier. Obviously, I shared Bam Bam with his. I mean, I've
Yeah.
had like a
What?
spider teach me about surrender. I was terrified of spiders, so now it's like, oh, I'm not going to even mess with this one. I'm not freaked out, like cured my phobia of them, I
I
guess.
read your post about the
Yeah,
spider.
it's like
Yeah,
so
yeah.
many things I was like scared of that maybe now I'm no longer scared of. So I would say probably just not being so fearful,
Hmm.
just not closing myself off and just being more open to receptive of just
Hmm.
letting whatever is going to come through. My relationships with my animals have all changed.
Can you kind of sum that up in a
Mhm.
little nutshell or?
Um, we'll just use my dog Rosie for
Okay.
a quick one. Let's just say she's a dog that would had definitely been a dog people would rehome and take constantly to the shelter because she's just one of those
Mm.
dogs that needs 100% attention. Like you've got to be in it, right? She's not one you can just like, oh, take her out for a walk or two a day and that's it. No, she needs constant guidance. But she's what inspired me to like really go into animal communication. So I was like, I don't want to rehome this dog because I couldn't handle that. I know she's here guiding me for a specific reason.
Hmm.
Um, so let's give animal communication a shot. And it's like being able to understand her and understand the things of why she does certain things that somebody else would have rehomed her for. It's like
Mm.
now I have this acceptance. That's who she is. Let's figure out something that works for both of us, you know? So it's
Hmm.
like meeting them where they are and then meeting you where you are and like, okay, let's come up with a plan that works for both of us. Yeah,
Hmm.
that's just one, I guess.
And that's something that, yeah, that communicators like yourself are a really good
In
reason.
you.
And oh, and me. Well,
Yes.
but I'm not practicing. I'm not, you're practicing professionally. I'm not quite there yet. But maybe one day I will be. Um, yeah, I had a conversation actually with a different communicator about that. And she's like, "Oh, I thought you were a communicator." I'm like, "Well, I mean, I am, but I'm not. I don't know."
You are.
Still working on that confidence piece, but not ready to put myself out there quite yet. Originally all the stuff I did was just because I wanted to enhance the relationship with my own
Hmm.
horses, really. But it is funny because as a quote unquote trainer, I, well, okay, two little things. Like when I was first learning animal communication, so then I was like going to Ugo and I'd be like, okay, kind of putting him on the spot. And then I felt like I wasn't getting anything. And I'm like, see, I can't do it. I'm not getting anything. I put him on the spot and I'm like, or you just, and then somebody was like, well, you just didn't have anything to say
Yeah.
or whatever. But then like I was like working with a client and this is later on, maybe a year or more past. And it was like I literally was working in a lesson with this lady, and as a trainer, I could see what she was doing that was making her horse not sure what she wanted. But
Hmm.
I literally felt like I saw question marks above his head.
Oh, wow.
And I went, whoa. Like that had never happened to me before. And I was
Wow.
like, oh. like he is not sure what you want. That went beyond my feeling or my knowing because I think that
Right.
knowing's always been my thing, but I didn't see that again as animal communication. I'm just
Mm-hmm.
think that that's just me being intuitive, right?
Right.
I just know things because I'm intuitive. But then when I thought I actually felt like I saw question marks over his head, I thought, oh, that's an interesting twist.
Yeah.
It's
He's
more
like, help
confirmation.
me here.
I
Like,
don't
I know
know what
you
he
see this. You
wants.
see, I have no clue what she's asking for. And you get question marks. Like, how cool is that?
Yeah. But what would you say to people who still aren't sure if it's real? Because again, I am so immersed in it now that I don't question it anymore. But like I did for a
Right.
long time, I questioned it. But I forget how many people still do not believe in it or still think that it's kind of crazy or woo-woo or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And that again is another kind of mission of my podcast is try to show people these stories and plant the seed that it's real. But yeah, if you have any thoughts or advice to people who still aren't sure, what would you say to them?
I would say, why don't you try it and see?
Like,
Try like talking to your animal. Like, okay, you don't even have to telepath. Okay, even though it is telepathy, right? Try
yeah,
just talking to your animal at home as if it's your best friend. Talk to them throughout the day. Like, okay, I'm going here to get the mail. You want to come with me to go to the mailbox? Okay, get the mail. Okay, now we're gonna go, whatever. Let's go walk outside. We're going walking. Oh, see the bird there? Isn't it beautiful out? Like, just like you would with a person and
yeah.
see how their behavior shifts because they're being heard. You may not believe it,
Mhm.
right? Just like with Reiki, you don't have to believe in Reiki to receive the benefits. You don't have to
Mm.
believe in animal communication to see how things shift. See how, like, does the dog now who didn't want to be affectionate is now starting to want to be in your aura more? Are they wanting to like snuggle up to you more? Are they just like
Mhm.
being more intently looking at you? I mean, it can be these little things that we just kind of like, oh yeah, like they're just being super cuddly today when normally they're not, and just kind of pass it along when that animal might be really trying to connect with you. And so
Right.
you're kind of opening yourself up to, okay, screw it. Like, let's just talk to them out loud. Even it can be in your head. It don't even have to be out loud. Just talk to them in your head as if you're having a conversation with a friend and just see. You just have to be open to witness and just kind of observe, see what changes.
That's so cool. I do that all the time. And I even tell my students when I'm teaching writing lessons,
Hmm.
I tell them to do the same because I
Yeah.
do feel like speaking it out loud. I mean, like you said, you could do it in your head too, but
Hmm.
I feel like speaking it out loud helps to clarify the intention of what you want, especially like in a
Hmm.
situation where you're trying to teach a horse something or asking them to
Hmm.
do something. But yeah, I think a lot of people do it and don't even realize that they're doing
Yeah.
it or don't even realize that their animal can understand them.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
They
such a cool
understand everything.
it is such a magical thing. And then on that note though, I was going to mention like yeah, they understand everything doesn't mean that they are going to want to do it.
Hmm. Oh, yeah.
And I think that that's the piece too that people sometimes forget like, well, I told my horse to do XYZ or my dog or whatever and they're not
Hmm.
doing it. Well, it's like doesn't mean they didn't understand you.
Yeah. Hello, they have free will.
They have
They're
free
gonna be like,
will.
I don't want to do that. I've had
Yeah.
several come to me like, well, my cat won't quit using the litter box. It's like, well, I just like my dog Rosie. I can tell her, please, don't have an accident in the house. Doesn't mean she's going to listen or stop destroying rolls of toilet paper. But she's like, I'm a beagle. Like, I'm still a puppy. Like, this is fun.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay.
Or how many of
She's,
those things too tap back into them guiding? I don't know about those things
hmm
specifically, but the things that guiding them back into are what they're trying to lead us to find out. Like, do you have any stories about that real quick before we close this out?
um, well,
Like,
Rosie kind of told me her mission here is teaching me the way of patience. And she says you get so impatient because it triggers you, because you feel
mm,
like you don't have the emotional capacity to handle when you like get frustrated, like you don't know how to handle the situation because I want to kind of control things. That's what feels safer to me. And it's like if things aren't happening at the speed I want to, then my nervous system starts like, ugh, like getting a
Yeah.
little right. But she's teaching me how to kind of like how you said you guys like teaching you being in the present moment, right? She's
Hmm.
teaching me to be in the present moment. I think they're all here to teach us to be present, but also
Yeah.
teaching us the way of forgiveness, the way of patience, the way of surrendering, like all of these things that we kind of take for granted or have been so conditioned out of not being patient, um, not forgiving people. Like all, I'm not
Mm.
saying you have to forgive. There's no have tos or you
Yeah.
shoulds, right?
Yeah.
But I think our animals are just trying to guide us on that journey of leading with more compassion, grace, and kindness.
If you had one thing to tell our listeners that would help them create a more magical connection, I usually say with your horse, but it could be with any of your animals, what would you tell them to do?
Just be present with them. Don't have any goal. Don't have any, like, I'm going out there just to do a specific thing. It's just for 5 minutes. Just go sit with them outside. Sit with them at on their couch, whatever. Don't look at your phone. Just be
Hmm.
present in the moment. And then maybe encourage yourself to like expand it. Try it like for 8 minutes. Try it for
Yeah.
10 minutes and just see like what it's like to just be present.
Yeah. And I think that don't be on your phone is a good thing because it's so, I think all of us so instinctively will like just grab the phone and scroll, but it has hit me a couple of times. Like the animals know that you are
Oh, my
not.
dog Rosie, she knocks my phone. Like,
Yeah.
When
They're
she
like,
wants my attention, she will not stop till I put my phone down.
yeah. So yeah, that is really important to
So she's probably teaching me to
remember.
get off my phone.
Yeah. Right. Very cool. Well, gosh, I feel like we barely scratched the surface of all the things that we could
Oh
talk
my
about. Is there
gosh.
anything that you want to add before we
No. I
close out?
think I'm sure
I love your
a lot.
stories, your Akashic records, and yeah, your brother. So all that was
Wild
really,
journey.
really beautiful. How do people find you if they're interested in, and I will include it in the show notes, but if you want to just mention it
Yeah.
here, how they can find
Instagram is probably the best. Her Healing Way on Instagram.
you. Okay.
I'm always on it unless Rosie is like telling me to get off
Telling
of
you to
it.
put your phone down.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well,
But
thank
yeah,
you so
thank
much
you.
for this conversation. And yeah, I'll share Zena's love letter in the show notes or when I post this or wherever and however I end up doing that. But I
Okay.
really appreciate you and thank you
Thank
for taking
you.
the time to chat with me today. And we will, I'm sure, see more of each other in the future.
Yeah, thank you so much.
What a fascinating and beautiful conversation that we just had with Jen Woolwine of Her Healing Way. Jen offers animal communication readings, animal collective readings. She also does animal Reiki healing sessions, and she does what she calls a soul bond session, which is a combination of animal communication and human design. So, if any of this interests you, be sure to check out her Instagram, Her Healing Way, or her website at www.herhealingway.com. And if you'd like to read Xena and my love letters to each other, you can read it for free. I have it posted at My Magical Horse on the Patreon. Go to www.patreon.com/mymagicalhorse, and we can't wait to see you there. Until next time, namaste, friends.